There goes that man's jockstrap.
Oh my God, did you see that? America's team? Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, it's a big day in sports. There's nothing like battling it out with your teammates all season long to go win a championship. Green Bay's got it this year. Huge move for them. I think it's going to be a game changer.
We have a lot to talk about this busy week in the sports world. Welcome to the In a League of Their Own podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's NFL segment. The stage is set for Super Bowl 56. We're going to break down the AFC and NFC championship here. Starting with the AFC side, Bengals Chiefs. Bengals advanced to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1989. What were some of your takeaways from that game yesterday?
The Bengals making the second half adjustments, like I mentioned about is going to be one of the biggest things to look for out of their team this weekend, like they did to the Titans the first week. They're arguably the best second half team in all of football. Best scoring differential in the third quarter. Defense allowed 3 points in this whole second half against the highest powered offense in the league, quote unquote. And I don't know. I feel like we got to see Joe Burrow. Another reason why we both picked the Bengals to win. He shows no fear. He has no waver of up and down. He's steady Eddie. And their coach has done a tremendous job of calling plays. And yeah, they're a true team right now. And Mahomes tried to do a little bit too much himself, I feel like. Ended up costing his team, and we'll see the Chiefs right back here next year.
Yeah. And they've been saying all year how this is why we drafted a kicker, McPherson, a perfect, was it 12 for 12 now in the playoffs?
Yep, he's 2 behind the all-time. If he hits 3 field goals in the Super Bowl, he'll pass Vinatieri for most field goals in his playoffs.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, he's right down the pipe every time. The game winner was honestly probably the closest I've seen a kick to coming to an upright by him, honestly. And even then, it's still like hooked in just perfect. Like it was a no doubter. You could every time he hits a kick, he's turning and he's celebrating with his holder, like he knows it's going in right away. Never that leaning one way, waiting to see what happens. He knows once his foot hits it, it's going in. And yeah, Burrow, like you said, amazing how he never really lost his character yesterday. Motions were never too high, too low. As well as the Bengals played, I would say the Chiefs lost this game more than the Bengals won it. You're up 21-3. Again, quote unquote, one of the best offenses in the league. You only have 3 points in the second half. Mahomes throws 2 picks.
And he got stripped for a fumble.
Yeah, which is lucky that
he got sacked 4 times. And he got sacked 4 times compared to 0 times in the first half.
Yeah. And we were chatting kind of during the game, and afterwards it seemed like Mahomes had time in the pocket. He was able to go through his reads, and he was just going in a scramble mode a little too early, trying to play hero, trying to do too much. When it's like, why are you running? Nobody was in your face. You had all day. And then he's doing 3 circles back and forth, runs for 30 yards, and either throws it away, gets sacked, or barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. And Bengals played a hell of a game, but like I said, when you're up 21-3, Chiefs lost the game more than the Bengals won it when it comes down to blowing a lead like that. But like you said, they'll be right back there next year, I'm sure. They always go in and get a couple pieces. They fix their team up, gets a little better and better every year. But yeah, Cinderella story by Cincinnati, unreal for having the worst record in the league. They won 2 games 2 years ago, and they've won 3 games in January alone. So it's like, it's crazy to turn around to that team. And it's kind of funny too. I've seen memes about it as far as AJ Green was with the Bengals for 10 years. First year he leaves, they go to the Super Bowl without him. So it's like kind of funny how that he dedicated most of his career to that team, and then now he leaves and now they see success. But yeah, was a hell of a game yesterday, both of them, which I guess transitioning into the second one, then NFC Championship, Rams 49ers, kind of as we expected, close, lower scoring game. I mean, kind of the same thing. As much as it, or the 49ers got out to a lead, in some cases with the play calling, some missed opportunities, the 49ers kind of lost this game more than the Rams won it. What was kind of what you saw yesterday in that one as well?
Yeah, this game I would agree with you as far as a team pissing away a victory. I feel like in the other game, the Bengals just made the adjustments that they needed to, and the Chiefs didn't. So the Bengals deserved to win that game. Where in this case, 49ers, they literally just pissed the game away. Not taking care of the ball. Granted, they didn't have as much time in the first half as they probably would have liked to. The Rams kind of played their style in the first half, dominating time possession. Even though they were down at halftime, they still dominated time possession, were really dominating the pace of play, and they were going to put it all on the 49ers to have to convert when they really needed to. And at the end of the day, I don't know. I feel like Jimmy G played a hell of a fucking game. Like,
yeah,
he did all he could have for this team. I feel like really where it was lost was their defense wasn't as impactful as it was previous weeks. They weren't getting after Stafford as much as they were getting after the other quarterbacks early. And I feel like that's just the wear and tear of your D-line having to be the most impactful part of your team. Eventually you're going to get burnt out of having to go play after play after play after play after play when you're relied on going only rushing 4 to cause some pressure when they have all those weapons out there to throw to. Yeah, I feel like their defense kind of let them down in this one, and credit to Stafford. Getting it done. He kind of didn't look the greatest at first, kind of seemed like he was really nervous, overthrowing guys behind them. But then second half came around and he found himself, played a perfect second half, and shout out to Los Angeles for getting to the Super Bowl. I mean, they won, they deserved it. But at the same time, I feel like if San Francisco would have executed on a couple more plays, they would be there instead, especially that pick late in the game where the fucking guy just goes, they practice this all the time. That's the one play you want to happen, and then it happens and you fuck it up. And it's just like, I'm sorry, boys.
Yeah, the 49ers are actually up at half. It was 10-7 going into the half. 49ers got the ball to start the second half. Drive stalls out. They still get the ball back, go up 17-7. They had a 10-point lead at one point.
And that's where it all fell apart.
And Debo gets it didn't seem like they were, after he got his bell rung on that one play, it seemed like he kind of wasn't as much of a part of the game plan, didn't take over the game as much as we saw he did against the Cowboys and the Packers. Stafford gets it done enough. I mean, the biggest thing was, again, when we talked earlier in the week was, okay, Stafford's probably going to throw a pick in this game, so long as it's not detrimental, it doesn't turn into points, you're good. It didn't. They threw a pick. The Rams got the ball back for them. So, and then on the other side, Jimmy's pick right at the end of the game seals it. So, Debo, I mean, they held him under 100 yards total offense, 26 yards rushing, 72 yards to the air, which I feel like is huge for that guy being as much as the biggest part of the offense as he is. To hold their biggest contributor under 100 yards total is really good. Kittle as well didn't have a really big game, had his first touchdown in like 6 weeks, I think they said. And then obviously Kupp, 11 catches, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns, like to be expected there. 49ers had this at points, especially that dropped pick. They were up 3, was like 6-7 minutes left.
It was 9:43.
Yeah, you get the ball back, you go down, bleed the clock, at least make it a a touchdown to beat you by putting up a field goal, or you put up a touchdown, you go up 10 with probably less than 4 or 5 minutes left at that point, you're kind of putting the game away. But yeah, it was just a matter of missed opportunities. And again, the second half adjustments, Rams came out, defense did what they needed to, held the 49ers to just a touchdown in the second half, which is crazy too. We always talk about when you get blanked, if you have 2 bad quarters, especially at this level in the playoffs, 1 bad quarter could be enough. Rams didn't score in the first or the third quarter, and they still won this game.
Yeah, but when you have an offense with the weapons that they have where they can score in 2 plays, it doesn't really affect you that much putting up 0 when you know you're potentially the same as like the Chiefs. You could go a 0 quarter because you know you could put up 21, 28 in the next quarter.
Yeah.
Like the teams that can do that and they do have the defense to that they can slow the game down. Really, I feel like putting up the 0 points, like didn't the Bengals only have 0 points in one of the quarters in the first half as well?
Let me check. I'm sure
because I think they were down 21 to 3. Right?
They were down 20. Yeah, 21-3. It was they had 3, 7, 11, 3, and then 3 in overtime. So they had the first and third quarter. They only had 3 points. So not 0, but not. The Chiefs were blanked in the third, though. They didn't score at all in the third. And then obviously their lone field goal in the fourth.
With time expiring. So basically 2 quarters of not scoring.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes same thing. The defense stepped up when it needed to step up. Obviously holding Debo to what they forced. Like minus the one explosive play that they had, the screen to Debo where he took it for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Minus that play, they did a tremendous job of not allowing plays over 20 yards. I think they allowed maybe 3 all game.
Mm-hmm.
And look at all the plays that the Rams were hitting 20 yards, 30 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards all game long. And it was the secondary, I feel like, that blew it for the Niners because that line couldn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
When Stafford's got all day, any quarterback, when they have all day, is going to be able to scan. And if your receivers are better than the DBs, somebody's going to get open.
Yeah.
Able to make the throw. And like you going back to the Mahomes thing real quick, how he was running around. You'd only have to imagine that not a single wide receiver was open. Because he's the guy who loves to throw the ball, all those cool different put the little touch on it type of deal. So yeah, two great games. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah. Kind of another I guess I should say unsung hero. Obviously, when you look at the stats every game, it shows most passing yards, most rushing, most receiving. Cup obviously had 142. OBJ, first 100-yard game in, what was it, 3 years? 3 or 4 years that he had. 9 catches for 113 yards. I mean, his career kind of came to life coming to LA here. A little bit of a slow start. I think his first 1 or 2 games, he only had a couple catches, but also
gotta learn the plays.
Yeah, you gotta learn the plays, feel the offense, things like that. I
feel like he fell into his role as well. I feel like he's not a number 1 wide receiver. Like he's not the best in that wide receiver 1 role. I feel like he fits the 2-3 spot like he is currently in the Rams offense, where you're getting the second, third best defender on their team, and you arguably could be a 1, and you get to torch guys all day. And every time he gets the ball, he's pretty much wide open.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like too, I mean, kind of his just little like drama diva side to him in New York and Cleveland a bit. Like that was a big question mark too, of going from Cleveland to LA. The lights are brighter, the city's bigger, you're surrounded by celebrities every day. Just kind of that atmosphere. How is he going to adjust to that? All game, catches the ball, turns, hands it to the ref, walk, like not jawing, not like, it didn't seem like he was whining about anything as far as like guys bumping him and stuff. It seems like he's kind of turned a new leaf personally as well, like off the field, and just his mentality to where
He's grown up.
Yeah.
He's not a little kid anymore.
Yeah. So it's cool to see that too, where he just, again, does his job, catches the ball, turns, hands it to the ref, walks back to the sidelines. He's not John. He's not.
Because what do we see a lot of the times with a lot of younger athletes who get a fuck ton of money? They act that same way.
Yeah.
And you just got to grow up. And I feel like he's done a tremendous job. And this organization fits him perfectly. He's a big city guy, big city name. He's built for the bright lights. Unbelievable as far as a wide receiver. And yeah, shout out to the Rams team for being able to pull through.
For sure. That wraps up our AFC NFC Championship recap and Super Bowl preview. Stay tuned for our next NFL segment where we dive into the Pro Bowl and the media accidentally releasing Tom Brady's retirement.